Why are you so worked up?
Okay, let me tell you. And do you really want to know?
I always want to know.
Not so sure.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
Anyway, we're excited that we have been able to create for you free access to over 587 Life's Inside Track episodes where we not only talk about real estate insider information, but also real estate tips, building wealth through real estate, making house home, and life exponential. And the great news is, as you know, you can get access to them from home, from the office, or on the go. What we're going to discover this time is buyer's remorse. The frustration, the agitation is actually like a natural thing that happens to people sometimes.
Yeah, and before we go there, you know what I'd really like to know? Because I wasn't there. But Suzanne was there when you were having your buyer's remorse at the condo in Mexico. So Suzanne, what was it like for you as an innocent bystander?
I love it. An innocent bystander.
You're not innocent about that.
You know what was interesting was that I think the thing to remember is nothing happened. Like we walked into the condo was great, the view was spectacular, everyone was getting along. So nothing happened. And at first that was the confusing thing, was nothing happened, but Yetta was getting increasingly agitated. And by the next morning, I remember going over to her and she was like, leave me alone. I was like, okay.
Oh, so it wasn't instantaneous.
It was like a building.
Like a volcanic eruption.
Yes. And I think the more we talked about stuff and the more she looked around, it was like this growing thing. The confusion for everyone else was that, and I think this is so key, is that nothing actually happened out of the ordinary for the people looking on.
Right. So she's going around. You guys are looking at, oh, we're on vacay. This is awesome. Look at the beach. Where are we going to go first? Where are we going to eat?
We were all, did you see the view from this balcony? Did you see the view from that balcony? Did you see the view from over here? Mm-hmm. And our host is simmering.
Yeah, and she's probably, now you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, love, but I would assume, because you've got an eagle eye, even though like you need reading glasses, you spot an imperfection. It is funny. You spot an imperfection in something, like it's unbelievable. So combine how critical, in a good way, critical eye you have.
So combine that eagle eye with a trained eye.
She's trained in real estate to
right?
see
So she's got the eagle eye, she's got the trained eye, and she's with a bunch of untrained people who don't see anything that she sees. You can imagine.
They just want to know where can we put on our bathing suit and go to the pool.
So what was that like for you?
I was so in my head that, I was attempting to be a host. And I was attempting to do like the hostess thing at the same time as attempting to talk myself off the ledge because I knew nothing good. Like I'm smart enough to know nothing good was going to come of me having a crying fit or throwing a temper tantrum. And I knew it looked ridiculous until you called.
You know what?
When Ken calls, it's totally different.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting? I think that's the same with any emotional outburst. If we back up the bus and take a look at what's really going on. Many times it's irrational. Like you said, I knew that this or that. I knew that, but my emotions were a train or a runaway truck where the brakes have broken and it's going downhill. Like they're accelerating.
Well, I think the key thing was that because Yetta was the host, she was also trying to contain it and deal with it herself.
Yeah, it was.
And I think the big part was actually being able to talk through it. And so when we finally got a moment and she started talking, then we could do some reality checks. And it was like, okay, but look at the view. Oh yeah, look at the view. So once we started doing the reality checks, things started to get back into context. And it started to make sense a little bit more. So I think part of it was, they say that when you're in crisis, the last place you want to do is rent space in your own head. Because
I don't even want to go in her head. It's dangerous. You could never
I
go
said,
there by yourself.
I said your head.
Yeah,
So my head. So she's spending time in her own head, escalating.
Yes,
the
yes.
moment she had a chance to talk through it,
Right.
she could hear herself.
She could process it.
And she could process it. What was fascinating was what she was dealing with. You know how we build up something, right? You haven't seen it, you build it up. It's amazing. And then reality sets in. And reality is often not exactly the same as what we painted in our mind.
Yes. And, we find that with our clients when they buy a property, is many times they've gone into the property, it's fully staged.
Yeah.
It's like nobody's lived there for a week. They vacate, they make it perfect. They vacuum their way out of rooms and they just make it perfect, right? No finger marks on the windows, nothing. It's
awesome camera angles.
It's pristine. No, but even when you go there, the house is pristine for the showing, typically. Not always, but typically. And then maybe you get your final walkthrough and they haven't cleaned the house now for a few weeks. and they're packing and everything's everywhere. And it will destroy your memory of what was there. Or even maybe you don't have a final walkthrough and now it's closing time and you go there, you get your keys, you're all excited. You got the memory of a staged magazine quality property. You move in and all their gorgeous furniture's gone. The wall hangings might be gone. The paintings are gone. There's holes in and you can see the dirt that's not behind where the painting was, or you see every mark on the floor because there's nothing to take your eye away from the nakedness of the property.
Yeah.
You
just went on like this.
I thought it was when I said nakedness, but you just gave me the look.
I was thinking I don't normally call a vacant property nakedness, but that's okay.
Naked.
It is.
That was kind of accurate.
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah.
But what I realized as we were talking and preparing for this segment is there's actually two types of buyer's remorse. There's that type where your expectation isn't met, or you've made up a bigger expectation and then it's different when you get there. But the second one is the type of buyer's remorse that can happen instantly, or while you're sleeping, you can't sleep because you've made one of the biggest decisions of your life and you go, oh, did we do the right thing? And I think you went
I went through that one too,
didn't you?
I did both at the same time.
No, you didn't.
Well, no.
No, you processed them separately because I got to deal with the one about, did we do the right thing when you were still here? Right. It was.
Oh yeah, I did it again there.
It was 6 weeks later when you got there. Then your experience amplified your original buyer's remorse.
And so it really is this process of building and it's almost dancing, right? Between you go back and forth in these emotions of certainty and uncertainty, excitement and what did I do? Yeah.
And you don't have to, but we tend to. When it's a big, like it's a setup. When it's a big decision, it's kind of a natural thing to have happen.
It can be natural, and it's normal that our expectations do not always line up with reality because our brain adds things, it distorts things. It's an amazing thing up there.
Yeah.
Like going back to school, like I went to my public school and I go, why are the toilets so small? Because I was small when I was there, At any rate, it's a privilege and an honor because we're passionate about walking alongside you to help you and us be positioned for a generational legacy.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.